If you have lived in Florida at any time in the last 5 decades and you listen to the radio, you know who Rick Shaw is. Rick, of course, a legend in South Florida and we think the longest running DJ in the country. In fact, today, Friday, marks his 50th consecutive year on the air. Welcome.
Hey, thank you, Bobby. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Thank you.
You don't know anyone else who's been on the air consecutively full-time for 50 years, do you?
No, I don't think so. There are a couple of guys. Dick Biondi in Chicago is still on, but I think it's just like a weekend deal. He does the oldie station there. And there's a guy by the name of Jerry Blavitt in Philadelphia who's still around. But I think I'm the last of the Mohicans still pulling a regular shift.
Now, I know you started in the late 50s, but you came to South Florida in 1960.
60, right.
Okay? And I remember you, of course, from WQAM, but was there a station before that?
Yeah, it was WCKR, which is now IOD. I was there from 60 to 63, went to QAM in 63.
But didn't your initial fame was WQAM in the days of WFUN, where I worked as a kid in high school?
Right,
and you were at QAM.
Sure,
What great radio days.
Oh, my God, yeah. We've had so many talks about how different things were back then. I was fortunate enough to be on QAM when they were just such a monster radio station. We pulled a 54 share in 1964,
Incredible.
which means 54% of the radios were tuned to one station. That's something.
Now then, of course, you were, in addition to radio, you went into television on the old Channel 10 in Miami.
Yeah, and did Saturday Hop, and then evolved along with Saturday Hop what they called The Rick Shaw Show.
Right.
And that was on in the morning, which was kind of strange. They called me up and said, hey, we want to do a teenage television show in the morning at 7 o'clock. I said, teenagers, they're getting ready to go to school. Are you crazy? They don't have time to watch that. They will think about it. Don't say no, think about it. So I came up with this idea of programming the show, which was like a half hour, 7 to 7:30 in the morning, like a radio show. Give them the time and the forecast and all of that stuff. So if they couldn't watch, they could at least listen. And if the pretty girls came on and did some dancing and whatever, they could stop and look for 30 seconds, that kind of stuff.
And you had some pretty famous people.
We had a whole bunch of famous people. We had Neil Sedaka among them. Who else? Neil Diamond, talking about Neil's. Supremes. Everybody who was anybody as they came through South Florida, and they always did every year. As soon as it got cold up north, they found a reason to get down here, and they'd stop by and do a number.
The big question after 50 years, initially, of course, you played to youngsters, to kids. And now you play to everybody. Some of those same people who listened to you then, like me, and older people, middle-aged people, older people. I mean, how do you do it? I mean, what is the secret? Nobody else has been able to do it. What's the secret?
Well, I think part of the secret is the music. The music is, it seems to be timeless. I keep having this bad dream that one Monday morning I'm going to wake up and oldies don't work anymore, But I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. You can understand all the lyrics. Right. Nobody gets killed. Most of it is happy, about love and all that good stuff, and it still works.
For young people too. I mean,
sure.
You're not just broadcasting to oldsters.
No, you're right. Answering their request lines at Magic 102.7 is amazing. How many kids, 12, 14, 16-year-old kids calling up and requesting the Beatles and the Stones and stuff. I said, how old are you? I'm 12. Well, how do you know the Beatles? Well, my mom has you on the radio when she rides me to school, and I hear these songs and I love them. Could you play me? That kind of stuff.
You've had so many milestones in your career. It seems like every 10 years we're doing something like this.
Right.
We did this 10 years ago.
10 years ago, it was a 40th, right?
At Wolfie's.
At Wolfie's on the beach, right? We did it live. You guys came by and said hi and congrats and all that.
Are you still having fun?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's. I often wonder what it must be like to have a job that you do just for money, because I've never done that. I've done what I've done because I love to do it. It's fun. You get to be with all kinds of people, because God knows you have no idea who's out there using your product and what they're doing while they're using your product. There you go.
Now you got Magic for what, the last 13 years?
10. No, 11, I'm sorry.
11 years?
95. Yeah.
And still 95. Going strong.
Yeah.
You going to continue?
Well, we'll see. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning is kind of old.
You and I share one of those, getting up early.
Exactly,
that gets a little more difficult as the years go by.
Exactly, yeah. That's the only downside of it. It just, the older I get, the harder it is to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Can't let you go without talking about some of the big groups from the 60s and 70s. The Beatles.
Yeah.
You were known as the fifth Beatle.
Met them in '64 in the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. They were doing their first American tour. The concert was there. We had flown up on the old National Airlines. We chartered a DC-8, flew 120 kids up there. You guys, FUN,
that's right,
had a Constellation,
sure. Yes,
as I
did.
recall. I remember that. And we got to meet the Beatles. We were sitting on the 50-yard line in the Gator Bowl, and they said, would you like to meet the Beatles? And the jocks were all chaperones for these kids. They said, yeah. And they had them in a trailer underneath the stands. And we went back there. The guy opens, Capitol Records guy opens up the door to the trailer. And there's Ringo sitting there eating a cheeseburger. You know, and he introduces me to Ringo, and we shake hands, and as we do, he notices my initial ring.
RS.
It's the Ringo ring. And I never thought about it, but we have the same initials. He said, I want to buy that. How much you want for it? I love that ring. I said, Ringo, just thanks a lot for wanting it, but my wife gave it to me. I can't sell it, you know.
The Monkees concert?
Monkey concert.
Like 67,
That's
68.
right.
I was there.
Okay. And we had a big contest, write in a postcard vote for your favorite DJ. Whoever gets the most postcards gets to introduce the Monkees. Not only did I get to introduce the Monkees, but the opening act for the Monkees, who was Jimi Hendrix.
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Rick, congratulations on 50 years.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
Bobby.
very much for being with us.
A pleasure, as always.
Rick Shaw, the real deal, still entertaining and making memories as the morning drive guy on Magic. You can hear Rick and Donna in the morning, every morning, on Magic 102.7.